Hello internets, Jesus loves you. My name's Cody and this is the Christian News Show we do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with geeksundergrace.com. And the first thing I want to talk about today are statues, specifically statues in the US Capitol. So right now in the US Capitol there is a statue of Charles Aycock. He was a governor from North Carolina between 1901 and 1905. And it should probably be noted that he is most well known for being a white supremacist. Thus, they are trying to replace the statue with one of Billy Graham. And there's a lot of different angles on this that I want to touch on, but just really quickly, am I the only one that finds it kind of weird for a statue of a Christian to be a thing? Legitimate question in the comment section below, because I haven't had a problem with this until right now. Golden calf, bronze Billy Graham. I don't know, it's probably not that big a deal. But I also wanted to mention that it was interesting that they want to put America's pastor in the US Capitol. Like, I'm all for it, he totally deserves it, but I have a feeling that we are definitely going to see atheist petitions for this thing. And lastly, I don't know if I mentioned that this is a proposal that's going on. They aren't for sure replacing the statue, but the reason that this proposal isn't going through just like immediately is because to have a statue be put up, the person needs to be dead. And the argument being made right now is that they could start on it now, and by the time it's finished, well, I mean, I know he's getting old, but this guy just wrote a book. He's still kicking. Like, you could at least be subtle about it. And because I'm terrible at segues, we're going to our next story. A crazed man recently walked into a church, said that Allah told him he needed to kill everybody, and then was going to try to do so. Luckily, the pastor calmed him down. There were no casualties. And it's a weird situation, because I know everybody wants to go, see, ISIS in America, but this really isn't the case with this guy. Like, not saying that ISIS isn't crazy by any means, but this guy seemed like maybe he had some kind of mental illness. There was definitely something more going on. Either way, though, it's terrifying that people are just using Islam as an excuse to kill. It's fantastic to hear that nothing bad happened during this situation, but I have a feeling that more like these are gonna happen. And so I've said things like this in the past, and I kind of realized recently that I may come off like I'm trying to use fear tactics and sensationalism, but that's not really the case. Like, I'm not trying to scare you so you'll watch more. This is just the world that we live in. It's not about being scared, it's about taking action. A lot of people say, fight fire with fire, which I would say it's much smarter to fight fire with water. Fight hate with love. As Christians, that's our job. And I know that's easier said than done, but if we can take care of people better than they can hurt people, then we can overcome. Speaking of which brings us to the final story of the day. Who said I'm bad at segues? So fun fact, I didn't realize until today just exactly how saving refugees works. I've read in a few different places the United States is denying visas from people in the Middle East trying to be rescued. And so upon hearing that, I blamed the United States, but it turns out that's actually on like the church or any other religious organization. See, it's actually the church that says, okay, I have this room, I could take these people in. They send a form to the United States, and then the United States lets everyone else know in different countries, okay, we have room for your people. Now, to put this into perspective, Germany has offered refuge to 800,000 people. The United States has offered refuge to 10,000. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of money involved with this because Germany is right next to the Middle East. It's a little easier to bring those people over. Whereas in the United States, the government is a little bit involved with this because that all costs money. But ultimately, it is up to the church, and that is very disheartening to see those numbers. Now, granted, about 1,000 churches have been reported to have put in applications to say, we can take in these refugees, but that's only 1,000 churches out of who knows how many here in the United States. Main point, we can do better. That being said, I invite you, definitely if you have a bigger church and you know that you've done mission work in the past, to let these pastors know, hey, we would really like to help. And in doing so, you could literally change lives. Question of the day, am I weird for thinking that Christian statues are strange? I want to know what you guys have to say, so please leave a comment in the comment section below with your answer on that, or anything that I talked about today. You can totally bring up anything you want to in the comment section down below. Make sure you check out Geeks Under Grace for more geeky content. My name's Cody Armour, bringing you Christian news and a not so boring cutaway every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In closing, let the haters hate, let the Christians pray, and to everybody like, subscribe. I will see you later, and God bless.